It's fortunate that my bed is out of focus because it's an absolute mess. And it's quite unlike me, considering that I usually like or prefer keeping my bed kempt. And you know what else isn't like me? Neglecting to post a video for an entire month. Oh wait, that's precisely me. I apologize again, but I'm back to talk to you about a case for this phone for roughly 10 minutes. So stick with me and we'll see if this case is worth it or not. The Moto G4 is great. $200 is a steal for something of this caliber. Love the phone, really no complaints. Does everything it needs to do and more for not a pretty penny, for an ugly penny, for an absolutely unsightly penny. Now, while I do have my reservations about the bang for buck ratio of the G4 Plus, it's kind of getting up there in terms of price for what you get. It's still a pretty solid offering by Motorola. So essentially what I'm getting at is that this case works for both the G4 and the G4 Plus due to the fact that the dimensions of both phones are identical. I mean, they are the same phone fundamentally. I mean, externally speaking, not really internal. Well, no, internally too. Yeah, that goes back to the fact that the G4 Plus is $300 and you're getting basically the same specifications. So I'm on the Amazon page for this case right now, and it is titled as such: Moto G4 Case Poetic Revolution Series, bracket, premium rugged, close bracket, open bracket, shock absorption, and dust resistant, close bracket. It's like XDA forums in here. Complete protection hybrid case with built-in screen protector for Motorola G4, 2016 black. So this is the black one. It also comes in turquoise and pink. But those seem a bit too overstated. This is understated. This actually looks like it could be part of the phone due to the fact that it's a subtle tone. You'll see what I mean in a bit. So this case is available for $16.95 on Amazon, and on the Poetic website it's available for the same price. So you're not necessarily getting an advantage with Amazon unless of course you're a Prime member, in which I would presume you would get free shipping and the like. So you might as well get it on Amazon. It's the same price either way, but if you want to go the website route, you could. I mean, so it's $16.95, so it's a value case. I mean, ostensibly, I mean, it's less than $17, and it looks fairly fleshed out. I mean, you get a 2-piece case for $17, so I would consider it to be a value case. So this part is made of, great. This part is made of TPU. It's just very tough and difficult to bend, even more so than the Nexus 6P. Coming up on my freaking 1-year anniversary of owning that piece of crap. No, I'm kidding. It's a love-hate relationship. Then you have this screen part, which is also made of TPU on the side, so then you just have a plastic screen shield here. So you have the buttons embedded into the case. What is that? Headphone jack? I'm out of it. And then you have an edgy design, which I assume is additionally for grip. Yeah, it is for grip. It helps a bit. It's plastic. At least to the touch. So yeah, it's for grip. And it also looks so aesthetically pleasing. I'm sure it would match one's razor blade admirably. Okay, enough. I'm trying to one-hand this. This isn't working. Let's put it down. There we go. You don't have to see it. And it feels decent. Like, it feels pretty good. It feels like I paid more than $17 for it, which is always a good thing. And I always go back to that in these types of videos. It feels more expensive. It feels like I paid more for it. And that's usually a good sign. And it's typically indicative of a good product. So let's put it in. Okay, simple enough. We should be halfway done in theory. But here comes the more difficult part. There we go. This took me a few minutes to figure out when I initially did this. I don't know if that attests to how much of an idiot I am or how non-friendly this is. There we go. Yeah, but that was just idiotic on my part. That took a matter of seconds. And you just snap it into place. Yeah, there are like additional places along where you have to like double snap it or like verify that it's actually snapped in place. And there we go. Okay, see, there we go. So just run your fingers along the circumference of the case and just snap any loose ends into place. There we go. Did that rhyme? I don't know. I forgot what I said. And here we go. You can see it's pretty reflective. That's a caveat, I guess. It is. It's pretty reflective, even more so than the normal display. Also, it seems like there's like a gray coating on the display as well, which doesn't lend itself well to viewing angles. There we go. Yeah, viewing angles are substantially worse under this plastic screen shield. So having the screen shield does indeed degrade the viewing angles both vertically and horizontally, which I would consider to be a significant disadvantage. I mean, it depends on if you value that, but I do personally. That's one of the most important things, in my opinion, when it comes to assessing a phone's display. And the thing is, the Moto G4 has a very excellent panel. I mean, viewing angles are superb, without the case applied, of course. So this does strip away one of the screen's main assets, which is, its excellent viewing angles. But again, it all comes down to the price. If you have all the money in the world, get a better case for more money. If you don't have all the money in the world and you're strapped for cash, then this will have to do if you want a bulky case with a lot of protection. Because no matter how horrendous the viewing angles are as a result of this case, you're not breaking your phone when you put it in it. Now, this case is thick, and personally it's not for me, but it's for a substantial percentage of the population. There are a lot of people who like cases like this because it's thick, and thus if you drop your phone on the floor, it's going to be protected by a lot of shock absorbent TPU. So that's why you get a case like this. Now there's an argument that can be made here. I mean, the Moto G4 is already a fairly durable phone. I mean, it's primarily made of plastic. I mean, it is almost entirely made of plastic. I mean, with the only non-plastic element being the screen. So it's already a fairly durable phone, and a case like this might be overkill because of that. But, I mean, it could still break without a case of this caliber. I mean, it's not indestructible by itself. But when you put it in this case, it is virtually indestructible. I mean, your greatest, qualm with a case like this is, if it falls, is the case going to separate upon impact? And to that, I'd say no. It's as long as you click it into place, which, just be careful. Click it into place when you apply it. There's no way this thing is going to separate upon impact. This thing is, no, it's not going to. Yeah. See, if I wanted to take it off, I'd have to pry my fingers underneath. Yeah, taking it off is a bitch. There's no way that gravity is going to do the job. So, yeah, there we go. Let's take it out. And voila. There we go, that's better. So what do we think about this case? I'm actually putting the case back on because I need to say a couple more things. This video is too short. I have to make a couple of other semi-unnecessary points. Let me briefly touch upon touch response. That wasn't even a joke. Let's talk about touch responsiveness with this. Touch responsiveness hasn't decreased. At least not to a discernible level. I can't notice anything different. There's a slightly annoying tapping sound because you're tapping plastic, so that's remotely audible, so that might, get under your finger. That's an expression. Touch responsiveness is fine. It's just that this plastic sheet just collects a lot of fingerprints, and the viewing angles are just ghastly. Now that I think of, oh my god, you can't even see the display from all four sides. Well, there, that's because it's just not a 90-degree angle. But yeah, that's very off-putting for me. If you don't care about viewing angles and you're used to having TN panels on laptops and what have you, then it's probably not a big deal. You're still protecting the screen. The screen's not getting damaged. You're not shattering this display, let alone scratching it, because you have this lovely sheet of distracting plastic on it. It's going to protect your phone. It's going to preserve it. So you can keep it in this for 10 years and your phone's going to come out looking brand new. Of course, pretty archaic because it's, you know, the G4 is pretty bulky by today's standards. I don't know how it's going to look 10 years from now. Actually, I do know the answer to that. It's going to look pretty awful. So here's what it boils down to. You're paying $17 to never have your phone break. Now this comes at the expense of not being able to see your screen clearly half the time, but you're not going to break your phone, nonetheless. Now the case does virtually everything else right. I mean, you have cutouts for your ports and flaps covering them to prevent dust and the like from entering the ports and potentially damaging them. I don't know. I've never heard of that happen, or it's never happened to me, so it's never happened in the history of mankind. And on the top you have one for the headphone jack. Headphone jack. And of course one for the camera, because that had to be there, because people take pictures with their phones. And you have one for speaking. You get the gist. The volume buttons aren't cut out, but they have case buttons, and the case buttons are very clicky and very satisfying actually. This is probably my favorite part of the case. They feel very, very nice. I can click them all day and not grow tired of it. And of course your lock unlock button. But the screen thing is just, I can't stand it. I mean, my sister uses it and she doesn't mind, but to me it's annoying, and it makes the case unusable for me. So that's why I personally wouldn't recommend it. But if you don't care about viewing angles, and if you don't care about your screen having some sort of muted saturation and difficult visibility, especially in sunlight. I mean, look at this. I just have a bit of sunlight entering my room, and it's just this pale gray color. It's difficult to see outdoors. My sister doesn't mind, so to some people it doesn't matter. To me, it breaks the case for me. I wouldn't buy this case. I wouldn't use this case because of that. But if it seems attractive for the price, yeah, go for it. But here's what I would suggest. Why don't you just get a case that doesn't cover the front, just covers the sides? You can get one for like $8. I'll probably leave a link in the description. Get that. And then get a couple of tempered glass screen protectors for what, $7-8? Okay, then the total's like $16-17. It's approximately the size of this case, or the price of this case. It's not the size of this case. It's less bulky too, and it's almost as effective as this is protecting your phone, and you'll be able to see your screen better. So just, yeah, a combo. A TPU case for $7-8 plus a couple of tempered glass screen protectors. Yeah, another $8. That's $16. It's probably even slightly less than what you can get this for, and it's not bulky as all hell, and it's gonna protect your phone. Granted, this is still slightly more durable, and if you're looking to minimize the chance of you breaking your phone to the fullest, then this is still the preferred option for that. But I wouldn't make the trade-off for the display and not being able to see it to its full extent. I mean, this phone has a good display, especially for the price. I don't want to take that away by having this case on it that removes that. Yeah, that could have been worded better, but that's how I feel. So would I recommend this case? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it. Sorry. Oh man, that doesn't feel good. Usually I recommend products. This time I won't, because I don't love it, so I don't think it's worth your money. I'm sorry, and there are alternatives. So that's it. Oh boy. So thanks for watching. You've just been Windows99. I'll be back maybe. I'm sorry for leaving. I miss this. Just talking about a case for 20 minutes, filming it, and then having people watch it. I miss it. I really do. I'll try to make videos. I still like making it. I miss it. I'm a broken record. I've just been pretty busy lately. The whole almost, being an adult stuff. I have to get ready for that. So, yeah, I guess that explains my absence, right? It should. But yeah, I'll try to make videos as often as I can, and that's a promise. I mean, all right. Later, guys. Thank you. Did I do the You've Just Been Windows99 thing? Yeah, I did. I don't know why my memory's so piss poor. Alright, well, I'll close this out by, doing this amateurish thing that's somehow stuck. Alright, later, I'm putting my hand over the lens to signal the end of the video. So, alright, enough.